What is the best stance for goalies? Is there a best stance for goalies? We're going to cover all of that today, and it's my goal that by the end of this video, you'll learn at least one new thing that you can apply to your game to improve your goaltending. I'm going to break this video down into two main parts. First is the types of stances that we use throughout a game, and then second is the ideal stance that I think most goalies should be trying to emulate. The first thing to understand about the goalie stance is that it is situational. A stance changes throughout the game. The stance you adopt when the puck is in the other zone is completely different from the stance you have when the puck is in the slot. At all times, we are trying to optimize the balance between energy expenditure and what needs to be done to make a save. When the puck is in the other end, you don't need to be in a ready stance. There is a low percentage of a shot coming at you, and even if it does, you have so much time to react that it doesn't really matter. As long as you're in the net and paying attention, you're fine. That's why I always recommend staying as relaxed as possible when the puck is out of the zone. This lets you conserve energy for when you really need it. As the puck gets closer to your zone, you need to get more ready, mostly to be prepared to leave the net to play the puck or for a quick shot off the breakout designed to trick you. Now that the puck is in your zone, we can talk about the three main stances. Let's call them the relaxed stance, the ready stance, and the pre-shot stance. Pascal Villana talks about this in his book, Goalie IQ, which I recommend buying. He uses different names for the stances, but the principles are the same. I want to give him credit for breaking it up into three main stances like I will explain in this video. The relaxed stance is the one you'll use when the puck is far away and or the puck carrier is not in a position to get off a good shot or pass. You see this a lot when the puck is carried by the opposing team's defense at the blue line. Think about when you're killing off a penalty and the puck is at the blue line, the defensemen are passing back and forth or moving across the blue line. You're in a stance, ready for a shot in case it comes, but not super prepared. You're relaxed. You're not wasting too much energy because the puck is not in a really dangerous zone yet. This stance is characterized by straighter legs and feet closer together. Goalies use this stance to save energy and sometimes to get a better view of the puck over the traffic in front of the net. You can also use this stance when the puck is being carried into the zone, but there's no immediate threat, like in a 3-on-2 situation. A lot of goalies, myself included, like to keep their gloves high here. I don't even 100% know the reason. I think it's to provide better net coverage and make the shooter think they can't go high, even though that position will change in a few seconds. I just know that it feels right and I usually do it too. To summarize the relaxed stance, we want to keep a very slight bend in our knees, not locked, but definitely not a huge bend like we'll use in our other stances. The torso is tall, the head and chest are up, and the key here is to save energy, to make ourselves a big target and get a good view of the puck and the potential pass options. The relaxed stance is very transitional because often we will very quickly have to transition into stance number 2, the ready stance. The ready stance is used when we need to start getting serious about a shot. Knees are bent, gloves are up and out, and our head is up with eyes locked on the puck. The logo on the front of your jersey and the toes of your skates are square to the puck. This is a stance you will typically use when the puck starts to cross the top of the circle. It depends on the situation, of course, because sometimes a shooter might have the puck on the sidewall, so they're inside the circle or closer to the net than outside of the circle. But because their back is to you, you don't really need a ready stance because they're not likely going to shoot from that position. They're also not likely to get off a good pass if their back is to you as well. But this is a stance you use when there could be a shot at any point. The shooter isn't in their windup, but they are a threat and you need to be ready. There's no sense in trying to conserve energy here. This is what we train for, and everything needs to be focused on making the save or reacting quickly to a pass. Most goalies will have a wider stance here. Nothing crazy, but wide enough to comfortably butterfly while also being ready to move laterally in case there is a pass. So you need to find that happy medium between being able to drop down to make a save and also being able to push across the net in case there's a pass. Finally, we have stance number 3, the pre-shot stance. This stance is the last one we have before we actually make the save. Think about the puck being on the shooter's stick and they're winding up to shoot, or you can read their body language and you see that a shot is on its way. In this stance, you have 100% focus on the shot. You do everything that you do in the ready stance, but more aggressively. So your feet will be wider apart because you're likely about to go down. You're going to have tension in your body here. Hopefully not too much, but enough to make an explosive movement either into the butterfly or into another save, another reaction, or anything else you need to do quickly. This stance is only used when a shot is on its way. You wouldn't do this when the puck is on the blue line because it's a waste of energy. Because this is the stance we adopt right before a save, everything in our body and mind is being recruited to react to the puck. This stuff is simple enough. I think a lot of you either already know this or intuitively you do it already just from watching other goalies and just from playing for many years. Now, let's get into the details of what I consider to be the ideal goalie stance. An important note beforehand, every stance will be a little bit different. Because every goalie is a different size with different leg lengths, torso lengths, a unique skeleton, strengths, weaknesses, and other unique elements that will give you the best individualized stance for you and not somebody else. What I'm sharing here are simply principles of a good stance. It's up to you if you want to tweak it, so feel free. You can always use a strange glove position like Felix Potvin or Mika Kiprusoff. I just wouldn't generally recommend it. One piece of advice I have is to watch a lot of hockey. Look at NHL goalies and their stance. Try to copy things. The more high-level hockey you watch, the more you will naturally adopt a good goalie stance. With that said, here are the principles of the ideal stance, starting with the skates. You need to have your weight balanced evenly between the front and back of your feet. And if anything, you might want to have the weight a little bit forward into the balls of your feet, but not too much or you'll be falling on your face. Your toes should be lined up to the puck, not the player, but the puck. Your feet should be outside shoulder width, far enough that you can comfortably butterfly, but not so far that it's hard to move laterally. There is no rule for this. You just have to find what is comfortable for you and what works best for you and your game. The distance that your feet are apart from each other will also affect the angle your blades are at on the ice. So wider legs will mean you're on more of an inside edge, which is a skill itself that needs practice and off-ice training. Look at UC Saros for an example of playing heavily on that inside edge. Your knees should be bent, so think about getting your knees over the middle of your foot. It doesn't have to be exact, and you can even go over your toes, but I would just recommend bending your knees enough that you feel like you can get some power in your movements. Your hips should be pushed back like in a hinge, so imagine you're standing a foot away from a wall. Push your hips back so that your butt hits the wall. You want to hinge back, and if you've done any deadlifting in your off-ice workouts, you'll understand what this feels like. You should be trying to replicate that on the ice when you're in your stance. You also want to do this without dropping your chest. Your chest should be up so that it's a bigger target and it's more likely for a puck to hit you there. You also want to keep your core tall. It doesn't have to be straight as an arrow, but you want to avoid slouching and sinking so much that you lose coverage. You always want to take up as much space as comfortably possible and as realistic as can be for what you want to do on the ice. So it's not just about being a big target and that's the only thing you need to do. You need to be able to comfortably get into a stance and take up space, but also be ready to move into a pass situation or in reacting to the shot or to the save. Your gloves should be up and out. They shouldn't be behind or even beside your body, in my opinion. It's much better to project them out to better stop the puck's trajectory and so that you can make the save in front of you. This allows you to see the puck better and gives you a better chance of making the save and controlling the rebound. Your gloves should be facing the puck, making them as easy as a target as possible for the puck. And there's a great trick I learned from Brian Decord at Stop It Goaltending. So what you would do is take or imagine one of those Swiss balls, those bouncy exercise balls that you see in gyms. Now imagine holding that in front of you with your hands. See where your gloves are? That's about the perfect distance and spot to hold your gloves in, allowing for maximum coverage. This is just a trick that can help. You don't have to follow it exactly, but I find it's a good rule of thumb for understanding how to position your hands in the goalie stance. Talking about your hands, they should be relaxed, not gripping the stick too tight or holding too much tension. You obviously need some tension, but you don't want them to be so tense that it's hard to react in a fluid manner to the shot. Your shoulders are also down and relaxed. Don't have them up by your ears. Now, this is something that you might have to consciously pay attention to in practice because it is common to tighten your neck and shoulders when you are stressed and focused. But it's a good habit to get out of, and I recommend working on that in practice. And finally, the eyes should be locked on the puck. Keep the back of the neck long, looking down at the puck. Puck attachment is critical, and you need to have an excellent view of the puck at all times, or you won't track it as well as you could. I know those were a lot of tips, and I don't mean for it to be overwhelming. I definitely don't want you to think about these things one by one like a checklist during a game. Games should be played with instinct, not overthinking and overanalyzation. Also, none of these things are hard and fast rules. I encourage you to take the ones that you like and try them out, but ultimately you will be creating your own unique stance. Every NHL goalie follows these principles in their own way, and you will see a lot of similarities, but don't be afraid to experiment and be a little unique. Once again, your stance will change throughout the game. You might use a high glove position early on when a player is skating towards you with the puck, trying to discourage them from shooting high glove by convincing them that there is no room there. Your knee bend will also increase as the play gets closer to the net. Various things will change depending on the situation, so don't get locked into any one stance at all times. Goaltending is all about adjustments and reading the play around you. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.